Welcome back to another stream of Enigmatica 6. How are you guys feeling today? I'm feeling fantastic. Thank you for asking. So let's pop out of this hole in the ground that I used to, AFK and wait for stuff to come together. Harvest a few crops. And then we're going to check some stuff out today. Hey, I got a new seed. I did not even know these things could generate new seeds. But I'm kind of happy they can. Let's get out this diamond hoe that I found somewhere in my travels. Let's go ahead and plop that baby down, and we'll have to get a new spruce slab to put over it to make sure that mobs don't trample it. Because that is why those are there. I had problems. I had problems with mobs destroying the crops. So we'll just do that. Alright, so we are definitely 100% going to get that tier 3 book today. The only thing that we have left to do is get a nether star. And I thought about doing it between streams, but I was like, killing the wither the first time just always, to me, feels like something I should do, like, as a group, with other people. It's just kind of how I am. It feels right to me that I should always kill the first wither together with you guys. But I've already collected all the materials for it, so it's definitely gonna happen. I'm just gonna kind of arrange some stuff here. I've been screwing around with Botania a little bit. I'm trying to get a basic kind of setup up and running, so I'm just going to throw this stuff in here for now, and I will come back to it later when I feel like it. Including that, and I'll hold on to the pedestal. I'll throw the Black Lotus in there, though. Let's put up this water bucket. Oh, although I will say, in this particular pack, there is an add-on called Mythic Botany that has this flower, the Aquapanthus, and it is a godsend to anybody who has ever played with Botania before, because it will automatically fill up your petal apothecary, and it will automatically fill up nearby cauldrons as well. And honestly, it is phenomenal. I love it. I found out about it by being part of the Discord, because I did not know about it. I was searching for a good way to autofill the cauldron, and somebody, I want to say maybe it was Paris, I think Paris told me about it. And to them, I say thank you. So let's sort out this last little bit of junk. Put up this phantom membrane. Get this mana bloom in there. I'm going to put the pedestal just in here for now. And we'll come back to it. Put up the hoe. Put up the pedestal book. Put up my worn notebook. This gold. And this charcoal, just in there for now. Now, the reason I was screwing around with Botania stuff is that I really want to get enchanting up and running. And Apotheosis does this neat thing with enchanting where it counts, it takes the enchantment value of items and then turns them into one of its parameters for enchanting. And the Botania pylons, they normally do, like, just for 2 of them, like 30 enchantment value. Like, it's like you have a full enchanting setup. And so if you put 2 of those inside of your Apotheosis enchanting setup, it just kind of supercharges it and gives it a real big start. I also got tired of finding milk. I needed it for something, for cooking recipes. So I used advanced level magic to trap a cow inside of a glass bottle, and it just produces milk for me over time. I love it. Thank you, Mr. Cow. But yeah, so I've already got the supplies together. We got the 4 soul sand, 3 wither skulls, and we're just going to go do this. I'm going to crank up, I'm going to take off all the fortune on Dimaggio, and I'm going to put up just nothing but amplifiers so I can get a good strong ranged hit if I need it. How much mana does that take? Hey, not that much, honestly. That is not that crazy. We got our sword with us. We've got our armor, which is still not completely good, but it's good enough for now. So let's go do this. We're going to fight it in the Nether. In some little junky part of the Nether. I'll just dig in a little bit into a mountain. I think I actually have one. Oh, by the way, this is what the Nether looks like now that I've got it fixed. I don't think that I came here last time with you guys because I was trying to fix it in between streams. But look at how cool this looks now. My goodness, it's gorgeous. This is a Wailing Garth. That's the biome that we're in. And you can find the new Minecraft 1.16 biomes as well. Like, you just have to kind of hunt around for them. I think over here there is a Warped Forest. Yeah, which is one of the new ones. I do dig the color of this warp block. Green-blue is just a good solid color mixture in my mind. And so I really like the shades that fall in between those two. And we got another fortress right over there. And we actually have another one that's just right up here. So we got kind of lucky with the fortress placement because I've been able to pretty quickly find enough stuff to fight to be able to get myself the materials that I need for doing these things right here. But we're just going to come up here into this little alcove and we'll dig. Basically, we're just going to dig a tunnel into like solid netherrack and then fight a wither there. So let's look at Silk Touch, put a couple AoE on there, create, and then just go to town here. Yep, and we'll call that good for now. And then we'll dig out a little bit, maybe like 1, 2, 3. We'll dig right back to the entrance here. To give us a little bit of space for maneuvering. And then we'll dig up one more. Oh, I accidentally went one too much. Oh well, it doesn't really matter. I'll just put it back. Ta. Not that it super duper matters, just so I have enough space to put the wither in. And then we'll just hut. And then grab the skulls. Am I back far enough? I'm not sure I am. That's as far as I am gonna go. Doesn't do bad damage either. Cheesing the wither, even in the nether. Alright. And there we go. So much destruction for such a small little thing. But we got our first nether star, and that's what's really important. I thought I had a slot in there for netherrack, but I guess I took it out. But we're going to put it right back in there. Oh. So let's go back. We'll upgrade our book, and then we're going to take a look at the tier 3 spell runes. Because I actually already have them made, so we just have to load them up into the spell book after we upgrade it. Oh, that took a minute to load. Right here, baby. Put that in, and then put our book in. And we get the Archmage spellbook. Blam. Which doesn't look like the UA's changed at all. It still has the 10 spells. Kept our spells for us, fortunately. And we've got the new runes right over here. So there are a few that got added in the update, and then these are all of the tier 3 ones. So I'm going to knock these into place. We'll look at these each one at a time, but first we're going to go over the new ones that were added in the update in between that you guys missed from when we did a pack update back a little bit. So first off, don't pay attention to the spell, just pay attention to what it does, right? So this one, Self-Craft. Craft is a new rune that was added in the last update, and it does exactly what it says on the tin. It brings up a crafting table. You know how you make it? Can you take a guess? Yeah, it's clay in a crafting table. I mean, like, it just makes sense, right? So straightforward. Then we've got number 7 is Projectile, Cold Snap, Amplify, AoE, AoE, Extend Time. Cold Snap is a weird one, if I remember correctly. Let's pull the Worn Notebook out and we'll take a look at it. Tier 2 Cold Snap. So, it snares and causes a burst of damage to an entity that is afflicted by slowness or is wet. Nearby enemies that are not affected by slow will be slowed. Nearby enemies affected by slow or wetness will also be hit by Cold Snap, can be augmented using Amplify, Extend Time, and AoE. Which is why I put so many of them on here, just so I could try it out all at once. So basically, we just need to find an entity that is wet, and then we will affect it with this. So let's see. Let me pull out one of these bad boys, and we'll just very quickly come over here and see if we can't find something inside of a cave. Surely there's going to be some monsters around here somewhere. Remember, we don't test on animals. I can't look at those cows. Although it looks like this cow has a scarf on it. Oh no, it's seeing the sylph. Okay. I was like, what is that green thing? What's up, sylph? You know what? I know that there are spawners somewhere nearby. We'll pull out the warp stone and we'll go to that woodland manor. And if any of them oh, it's on the next page. I was like, where is it? I know that I have it. If nothing else, this forest is absolutely dark enough to spawn stuff. So we should be able to find something relatively quickly. It looks like there's a creeper over here, maybe? That might be... Ooh. A crocodile. I forget that those things are in the pack. They look horrifying. And I think if it's completely submerged, it's just like hidden. Yeah, you can't see it when it's completely covered by water. That's an interesting effect by... I think it's Alex's mobs that adds that. To just have it like, yeah, you can't see me because I am completely submerged. But I think we did too good a job lighting this up. So I don't think anything is actually going to spawn in here. Oh, hold on though. Maybe I spoke too soon. Yep, there we go. Got ourselves a friendly skeleton here. Moral, stay out of swamp water. Yeah, no, for real. Stay out of swamp water. Let's go back home. I was collecting some spruce wood, as you can see, on my little island that is meant to contain the podzol, so it doesn't spread everywhere. And we will set this guy down here. And then he'll be like, oh no. Oh no. And then we will switch to that spell, Cold Snap, and then... So now he should be slowed. And it did a lot of damage. I mean, like, that was most of his hit points. Now, I do have this amplified twice, so it is doing more damage than it would do immediately for you, but you get my point. It's like, it did a lot of damage against this Chumperino here. And then what do we got on this one? We got this Conjure Water projectile. So this is, again, exactly what it sounds like. You hit an area, blam, and it conjures water. It's just like an infinite water bucket that you use mana to replicate with. So I'll just blam, get that off. And then come back here to Silk Touch, clear those off, and then just take it back. But yeah, you can also hit this one with AoE, so if you wanted to make like a big water puddle, or maybe like a 2x2 or a 3x3, it's a lot of damage. Yeah. If you want to hit like a 2x2 or a 3x3 or a 4x4 or 5, I mean like as many AoEs as you can put on it, you can basically have an infinite water bucket using that that rune, the Conjure Water rune. And it's not very expensive. Like if I just fire it off at this ocean, which won't matter because, you know, obviously it's full of water, but I mean, you can see that I can do like, I mean, like, what was that, like 10, 12 of them on one mana bar? No problem. And hitting it with the AoE does not drastically increase the mana cost, so if you just want to get something down, you can put down as much water as you want. And I mean, like, how often, like, I don't need to create that much water. Really? So, I mean, like, yeah, just, you know, do whatever you need to do. But then we got, let's see, what was on 9? I have Flare. So Flare is another weird one, because it has conditions on its operation. So, used on entities that are on fire, Flare causes a burst of damage and will spread fire and deal damage to other nearby entities, does significantly more damage than harm, can be augmented with Extend Time, Amplify, and AoE. So the easiest thing to test this out on, right, is a mob that's just gonna be on fire. So, why don't we go fight a Blaze? Blaze are on fire. They set themselves on fire, so that way it's like thorns. But for Blazes. I think the entrance to the tunnel is right over here. I love this warped forest. I really do. Here we go. Now we just need to find a blaze. There's one. So you can see they are not on fire right now. So we're gonna do a damage test here, right? We're gonna get them not on fire and then get them on fire. Not on fire. Did almost no damage. Yeah, did none, in fact. But they're on fire. And you can see that big burst of particles that came off of it. I presume that's it spreading the fire like it talks about doing. But it did what? 7.5 points of damage. So like, what's that? 4 hearts worth of damage? 3.5 hearts of damage? Just because it's on fire. And I mean, you can combo these runes together. So like, if you wanted to use the rune that starts a fire, and then do the rune that's flare that like hits them with this improved fire, hitting everything around them too, it's a good way to deal damage to a big group of enemies. You could just use, you know, Ignite in an area, followed by the flare. And just do a lot of damage to a big group of enemies and maybe kill them all in one hit. Tower Pratchett. So the last one is Gravity. Gravity is pretty straightforward. It does, I mean, I'm going to keep on saying this because it's very straightforward, right? So let's see, we've got a bee right over here, right? This bee's flying around, it's pollinating, it's doing its thing. If we was to hit it with Gravity, then it just falls down. It just goes down a little bit. It's not a super noticeable effect, especially because I just have the basic rune. I didn't like improve it or extend it at all. It's most notable on fish, which is kind of like how I've been playing with it. If we go out here to our little ocean and we just find a fish, right? So here's an Atlantic herring. Hit them with it, boom. You see how far they got knocked down? And that wasn't them sinking. That was me hitting them with it. Same thing for that one, boom. The whole school followed them. And you can do it to other things too. So you can do it to old squiddies, to drowned. I mean, anything. You could also create damage spells that work on effects like that, right, too? Because there is a... which one is it? There's Launch. That throws things up into the air. There's Knockback. So you could do like a pretty interesting fall damage spell, too, if you really wanted to, because you could launch things up, hit them with the gravity to slam them back down. Yeah, absolutely. It's just a gun that increases gravity against them. Why wouldn't you? But then we've got these new runes to check out, and these are new even to me, so we'll have to play with them for a little bit to figure out how they work. So the first one is Split. This is a new augment rune, and I think that it's going to just, you know, cause the spell to veer a little bit, but we're going to check it out. So let's look at tier 3, and we'll look at Split. Causes multiple projectiles to be cast at once. Each projectile applies a set of effects. So I'm thinking, if you just have this on your projectile spell, then it will launch it out into different areas. So, like, I want to say that this one's going to modify projectile, but let's check it out. So, Split, then Gravity, Create. Yeah, I think that looked like 2 of them, or 3 of them. Yeah, 2 of them. So, if you had 2 enemies that were pretty close together... Although it looks like maybe it has a lesser effect than it did before. Like, the fish were the most noticeable. So I'm going to try to find a fish. Or maybe it hit him twice. That's interesting. And knocked him down quite a bit. But yeah, I was right. It modifies the projectile. Does not modify the gravity. It makes me wonder, can we split it like multiple times? And then do gravity? And it fires like... Oh, yeah. Look at that. You can see 4 beams firing off from that because I split it multiple times. That is darn cool. The entire school of fish is mine to play with. Ah, it's about to be nighttime. Let's hit that bed. I don't want phantoms to spawn, and I don't know if I slept before I logged out last time, so we're gonna hit this bed. And I'm gonna get some coffee. I will say this about having lost my beloved mug and having to replace it with this thermos. It sure does keep the coffee warm for much, much longer. Oh, also, this is something I didn't go over last time. So these are warding stones from Ars Nouveau. They keep monsters out of your house. They can't cross this. I don't think anything can cross this, actually, except players. But yeah, I think Thaumcraft had something like this before. I think they were called, like, arcane wards or something like that. But yeah, this is a really neat addition to the house. So I can kind of keep the open concept and not have stuff just stumbling in. Like, I've had to kick sheep out a couple times and whatnot while I'm still trying to figure out what to do with the doors, if I even ever do anything with the doors. But alright, okay, so that's one spell down. Let's check out the next one. We've got Strength. I'm pretty sure... I already know this spell? Huh, I kept the rune, like, completely separate. I mean, it applies the Strength buff. I do have it. Weird. So yeah, I assume that this is just going to be a buff. It's going to put, yeah, strength on you. So you'll do more damage to things. Probably amplify increases the level of strength you get. And then, of course, extend time will make it last longer. So I think Strength 5 is where it caps out normally. Does it have a cap in this? Can I just be like, yeah, I want Strength like 10. Oh, it's Strength 9. I'm probably doing a lot of damage then. I need stuff to test this on. Let's go to the Nether. Well, actually, there's just Drowned out here. And they're easy. Cast the spell again. And then where are you, drowned? Where are you when I need you, drowned? I mean, I guess there was just like a little cave over here that I could just pop into. Where was it? On this side? I'd probably find monsters down here. Probably. See, they're trying to pull me down, but I've got flight on, so it can't. These underwater caves look really cool, though. I'm kind of looking forward to seeing the official take on this, because I personally think this already looks fantastic. I think there's a mod in the pack that changes cave generation so that you get more stuff like this. Like, I think it's trying to make an approximation of what like 1.17's underwater caves is going to be like. Obviously, it looks good, though. I wouldn't complain about this being in Minecraft in general. There are some enemies to fight, though. I should have just stuck with my plan and went to the Nether. I just thought that it would be easier to grab some ground. And then they had to prove me wrong by not existing. But that's okay, we just can go to the Nether. I'm gonna punch a piglin and see how much it does. Or a zomblin. A piglin zombie, I think is their actual name now. So let's see. Oh, that's a tiny one though. I hate the tiny ones. So normal, nothing punch. I did like maybe a point of damage. It's 18.87 instead of 20. So a little bit over 1, right? Then we're gonna put on strength 9. I killed him. Strength 9 just killed him with my bare hands. Oh. And I got a blaze trinket. What does that one do? Yeah, remove turtle shell for now. Blaze heart. You are immune to fire damage. Well, I kind of already am, thanks to my trinkets. So let's put that turtle shell back on. There he is. There we go. Just straight up killed him. And I mean, like, we can figure out the breakpoint here, right? So, like, strength 5, that's like the normal. That's what you could, like, normally get out of the game. Oh, that's 6, though. Oh, but I gotta wait for that to wear off now. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Oh, come on. Wear off, wear off, wear off. It's only 30 seconds, but it feels like so long. Ka-ching! Now I got strength 5. Okay, so let's walk down here and punch another zombified piglin. That almost killed him. Okay, so the breaking point for zombified piglins, which I think they inherently have some armor. Yeah, they've got 2 points of armor just inherently on, is going to be 6. Which is the same for zombies, I think. So you could do that, and then you could extend time 3 times. So you could have strength 6 for a little under a minute. That's a good spell. And then you could punch piglins to death with a book. Bonus, you don't anger the piglins because they don't know that you attacked anything because you just kill it instantly. That's just a good old bonus right there. But alright, I guess I made an extra rune for some reason. Then we've got Wither. We'll pop it on and then take a look inside the book. Wither applies the Wither debuff. So you could cast it on yourself, but that would be very foolish, right? So instead, we're going to cast it as a projectile. And then instead of strength, we'll do wither. And then create. And I assume this will do... Well, I mean, we have to test it on ourselves, though, because that's the only way that we'd know what happened, right? Yeah, let's hit this guy, because I don't think I can see debuffs on enemies. I can, in fact, not see debuffs on enemies. So let's do Amplify. Just hit it all. It's going to be like Wither 9 on this guy. Hi. Sure is killing him fast. Oh no. So okay, yeah. It's definitely doing more damage. Let's, we're gonna go back to 9 and we're gonna change it back to where it's actually Dispel Magic. So, self, and then what is the symbol for Dispel? Dispel, create. And then we're gonna apply the Wither thing to ourselves in the overworld, in our home, and then figure out what it's doing, right? So, basic. We'll start basic. And then change it to self-targeting. So, self-targeting, I gave myself Wither 1. If I amplify it once... Yeah, I got Wither 2. And since every other spell works that way, I'm just going to assume that the rest of amplifies are leveling it up to be Wither 9 in total, which means this would also be a great damage dealing spell for most things. There's very few things that are immune to the Wither effect. And so if you really wanted to just make sure that things were going to die, like you could put it on one of these wands, which gives it projectile and accelerate for free, so that it would be Wither, amplify, 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 amplify. And you'd be giving everybody Wither 10, basically. Because when you put stuff on wands, you leave off the form, because it's always projectile. It always gets one level of amplify projectile? Oh no, what is it? Accelerate. It gives one level of accelerate for free. So that way it travels further, faster. So then you would just be like, Wither, and then all the amplifies. So you'd be doing Wither 10 on something. Put that on. And then you've got a wand of kill that thing over there within like a couple of seconds. No problem. Maybe some husks will have joined the party. We can very quickly just be like, boom, take all this Wither. It's weird to me that like the majority of undead mobs are not immune to the Wither. It's really just the Wither and Wither skeletons that are just straight up immune to it. Like Creepers not being immune to it, I get. So yeah, it's not super quick. And I mean, honestly, you want to be killing most things with Fortune to get some of the, some extra loot. So this probably isn't the main damage dealing spell, but I mean, like, for sure it's going to kill something. And it doesn't cost that much mana is the other thing, right? I mean, I'm passing out Wither 10, and it's only draining, like, maybe a quarter of my mana. That sounds crazy to me, honestly. Yeah, let's set that back down. That's my test one for just random stuff. So what's our next room? We've got Summon Vex, which the text on it summons 3 Vex allies that will attack nearby hostile enemies. These Vex will last a short time until they begin to take damage, but time may be extended with the extend time augment. I like it. So let's create the spell. do self, and then summon Vex, create, and we'll head back into the Nether to test this out. A lot of jumping back and forth between the Nether when you're testing stuff out, huh? Mostly because we're testing attack stuff. You know, I need enemies, and there's just Nether's plentiful with enemies. So I summon that, and they're just there. I unfortunately, you don't get an actual buff, so like I don't know how long they're supposed to be there. Notably with piglins, at least, they are the ones that are attacking the piglins, so the piglins don't aggro on me, they aggro on the Vexes. That's cool. Did they fade? See, I'm gonna summon them, and then we'll just kind of wait, see how long they last. Entity.ars_nouveau.ally_vex. They're lasting a while, actually. The book did say they despawn after a minute, right? Or something. Last a short time until they begin to take damage, but time may be extended with the extend time augment. I mean, this is like over a minute. Now they're... I mean, they follow me too. It's so cool to have little Vex allies following me around. Yeah, they don't seem to be going away, and I didn't augment the spell at all. Oh no, there they go. Okay, so they just, I mean, like, they last like a full minute. I expected them to last like 15 seconds or something like that, but they lasted a full minute. That's good. That is good. Now, I wonder, I mean, like, see, this is the thing, and I made this suggestion to the mod creator too, but I'd really like it if there was like a listing in the book of what modifiers affected the spell and also like what they did. So like you can see like extend time, and then yeah, it extends it by 10 seconds or extends it by 30 seconds or whatever it actually does, right? I would really like it if that was inside the mod book, so that way you would be able to tell just by looking at it like exactly what it does. But then the mana cost is not bad. For me, with like almost all the runes and also the tier 3 book, a couple of clothing pieces that affect it, I mean that took like maybe a 10th of my mana. And I mean like, oh no. Oh no. Come, my minions! Let us destroy things! Probably shouldn't be able to summon all of them like that. Probably should only be able to summon like one set, or like maybe when you summon a new set it dispels the other ones. It should probably work like that. I don't know, man. I think having like 20 Vexes around is not really balanced. Get him! This guy's definitely attacking you, Vex. Get him. Good, good Vex. Good Vex. No, it's awesome. It's just, there's no way that this can even approach anything called balanced. Like having a horde of Vexes, like even the actual things that summon Vexes, evokers, I think that's what they're called. The evokers can only summon like 2 or 3 at a time. And then they start hitting you with the snapping jaw. I can't be allowed to summon like 30 demons every time I need to fight something. That makes me really curious, actually. Okay, so we're gonna test something out with that. Can a wither be killed by lots and lots of vexes without you having to do anything yourself? But okay, lightning. Let's learn that one, and then we'll see what it does. Lightning. Summons a lightning bolt at the location. Can be used anywhere, question mark. So projectile, and then lightning. Create. That's cool. Stick them on the end dragon. Man, okay. Yeah, I wonder, could they, the end dragon moves around enough that it might be impossible for them to actually fight it, but the wither basically stands in place. But I now find myself curious about the summon lightning thing, because there's a couple of mobs that act differently when they're struck by lightning, and I'm real curious if that happens here. So creepers, right? They become charged creepers if they're struck by lightning, which they sure absolutely did. Strike that thing with lightning. Do it again. Oh no. I accidentally summoned up the box to look for things. Ah, and it kind of hits an area too, like normal lightning does. So if you're not super precise with your lightning bolt, it's okay. Ooh, and it can hit me if I'm really close. So gotta be careful with that. It also does not take up very much mana for something that deals like a lot of damage, actually. This is a brand new creeper, right? 20 hit points. With the damage over time of being set on fire, it lost down to 8. Not bad. And it's not expensive. So I think this would be like my new... Maybe I could replace harm with this. But can it be affected the same way that harm can? So like, if I amplify it, what happens, if anything, right? There's a drowned. Come to the surface, Mr. Drowned. So that did... No, it looks like that did the same amount of damage that I would expect it to otherwise. Like 5-ish. So without that, but like, what if I put Fortune on it? Does that work? Costs a lot more mana, that's for sure. So probably just like not effective to use that much of it. And it'd be something that'd be very hard to test out, honestly. So yeah, we'll just leave that one be for now. That's a cool spell though. And then Glyph Intangible. Da 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 da. Causes blocks to temporarily turn into air, can be modified with Amplify for blocks of higher hardness, AoE duration down, and extend time. Causes blocks to temporarily be intangible. So, like, sounds like you could create a temporary way to go through something. So, like, touch instead of that, and then intangible, and then AoE, AoE. And I would think that this would create, like, a 3x3 that you can walk through, basically. Yep. Temporarily. Darn cool. Absolutely fantastic. Can it do it to us, though? That'd be my question. What if we do self-intangible? What happens? Nothing. Doesn't look like I'm able to pass through stuff. That's fair. Being able to make yourself completely untouchable, unhittable for an extended period of time would probably be a bad idea also for balance concerns. So let's look at Glyph Fangs. Fangs summons Evoker Fangs in the direction where the spell was targeted. So yeah, okay. This is just a spell that Evokers can use. They can target you with when you're fighting them after they summon their Vexes. So we'll create... I had it on self as the target, and I wonder if you can or if you need to do something else. That's definitely only targeting a certain direction, even though I'm facing this way. So maybe you do need to have, instead of self, do touch, maybe? Yeah, now it's going the direction I'm facing. I mean, it's a totally ground-based attack, but also looks like it does the exact same animation as the Evokers. And I'm not sure what the damage is when the Evokers do it, but it's not a lot to an armored player anyways. You know what? There's a perfect place for me to test this out, and I'm surprised I didn't think about this before. But over here, near my village, there is actually one of the towers for the Illagers. So if any of them are around, it would actually be really funny to hit them with stuff like this. So I did like 4-ish. Mostly to me it's good because it's cheap. Like that's not taking hardly any mana for me to cast. I can rapid fire that. But if I put an Amplify on it, does it do more damage like I would expect it to? I don't know. Let's grab another Illager here. Looks like there's another one. Yeah, there we go. So that did... Oh, yeah, considerably more. It was doing like 4-ish before, and now it looks like it did like 10. Yeah, that is a lot of damage increase. Now, it's completely ground-based. So there's a certain set of entities that it just won't affect, right? But, again, I could do that. What if I just attacked you with, like, 12 of them? So then... let's try Fortune. See if we can get a crossbow off these guys. We got an axe? Or no, we got the banner. So no crossbow. Oh. Fortune drains so much mana. So much mana. And this is a cool spell, though. Let's take the Fortune off of there. I'm not even sure if it had an effect anyways, so... Now, you do kind of have to be precise in your targeting. It's really easy for you to miss. But it's so cheap, it doesn't matter if you missed. Yeah, that's good. I'm happy with that spell. So then the last one we got is Blink, which according to the book, if the spell hits a block, the caster will be teleported to that location. If using Self, the caster will teleport a short distance in that direction. So yeah, obviously this is like a little bit of self-teleport. Otherwise, it's like using an Ender Pearl. So let's see how far it sends me, right? Let's go back to this little flat area here. And we'll mark off, this is where we're going to start, right? Right next to that. We got to right here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 blocks forward is how far it moved me. And then, does extend time change it? No. Does amplify change it? Yes. Amplify moves me an additional 3 blocks. Mana cost is a little bit... I mean, like, for a teleport spell, it seems cheap. Let's throw them all on there. How far can we go? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24... 24 additional blocks than the normal one. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of them, 24, so it's 3 more blocks per, it seems like. Which makes sense, because that's what it did with the first Amplify. So each one is 3 blocks that does not act multiplicatively, it just acts additively. Still, really cool though. And then if it's not a self... which will actually be better if it is a projectile. Whoa! That worked! I really thought that was not gonna work. I thought it was too far and the spell was gonna fade out. Alright, let's get some testing done. Alright. So there is a maximum range, because that did not move me. I'm not being incredibly precise here in my movements, right? Also, it's just not pulling me here when it seems to be hitting. Okay, so that first one totally moved me, but then none of the other ones did. That's weird. Because that first one pulled me from so far away all the way to over there. And it did it again. Maybe it can't pull you vertically? Or... Yeah, vertically. So, like, if I'm down here, will it pull me up there? It did. Maybe it didn't like that material. Like the terracotta or orange sand or whatever this is made out of. Coarse dirt. Huh. And then red rock. Maybe it was the modded material. Still, though, I mean, being able to fly kind of eliminates a lot of the need for the travel stuff, but I mean, like... it can let you teleport through a lot of stuff. Another way to be able to mess around with stuff, right, would be like projectile, intangible, AoE, and then projectile teleport. That would maybe work. And then you could like make something at a distance intangible and then teleport yourself through it to the other side. That could make for some interesting base design. A lot of the other spells are ways to move other monsters too, so it's interesting and I mean kind of expected that you're not able to move monsters with this. But yeah, that's all of the new spells that I got at tier 3. And I'm very excited about it. So then, let's look at some of the stuff that I did between streams. So, number 1... I don't know if you guys noticed while we were playing with stuff around here, but I filled this in. You couldn't even tell, right? Like, I'm actually really proud of myself for this one. I felt pretty good about this. So, originally, this over here, I think from about here over, was its own little island that was separate from my my main landmass here. And then I created an isthmus by terraining this area underneath the water and putting it together. From like, I think about here to about here is all my work, putting that stuff together. And if we dive underwater, you know, there's lines that meet, but even if you look at the official, like this over here is naturally done terrain, there's still a lot of lines that just meet up, like a lot of straight lines that go down. Over here, I think it's slightly more obvious because I did more of a stair-step approach with my my connecting joint than I did with their like tessellation pattern. Their you know, Qbert. This reminds me of Qbert when I look at this. You know, jumping up and down each block one at a time, because it is like one block at a time. So that looks kind of weird to me. This feels slightly more natural, even though it's not how Minecraft would have done it. And of course I had to add in a whole bunch of plants just so it looked like, you know, it formed naturally. And I did a little bit of it on this side, but it looks a little bit more here because I had less lines that I needed to join, because this underwater cave was kind of already here, so I just kind of went over the top of it and then joined this stuff together. It looks a little stairsy here. I probably need to split that up a little bit more, but still, I think it looks good. I don't consider myself very good at terraforming. Like, that's something that I'm trying to learn how to do. But yeah, for kind of a big area, I feel like I did a good job. I also hollowed this out and made myself like a little... I'm thinking of it in terms of like a root cellar. And I haven't got around to decorating it, doing any kind of detail work inside, but I just wanted to get the big structure in, where I've got the support beams that are embedded in the stone with beams underneath it to kind of hold it together, sort of like you would do in a mine shaft if you were to have a mine shaft. Did the same thing over here. I made the same pattern on the ground as I had upstairs because I thought it was a really good pattern, and so I wanted to continue it. I made a way to get down. So, you know, there's this and a little bit of expansion opportunity if I need to go down another floor, but then I also just dug down to bedrock, which is blissfully flat in this pack, which I love. I love flat bedrock. I hate the jagged tessellated version that exists in normal Minecraft. And then I also made myself a little mushroom repository. So like I said, I started breaking into Botania just a little bit, so I was like, well, I'm obviously going to need petals, so I might as well just get this set up. So I've got the hopper botany pots. I grow the mushrooms instead of the flowers because the mushrooms can be turned directly in on the recipes because these count as flower petals instead of the flowers. Now, obviously you'd get more out of growing the flowers, and they take the same amount of time to grow. I just think this is easier to just walk up and be like, I need X white flowers. Alright, so that's X white petals that I can just throw directly into a recipe. I just like it a little bit better. Hung some lanterns in here just for kind of like mood lighting, because I didn't want it to get too bright in here, because I've never seen a root cellar that had extremely light bright lights down in it. It always seems like any kind of underground structure like that, like your basements, your root cellars, your storm shelters, anything like that has at most like one light in it. A lot of them just use flashlights, or I guess candles is what it would have been like in non-modern times. So yeah, I just did a few lanterns just along the main pole to kind of like put some light in here but not make it really bright. Initially, I only had the one, which I'm thinking I'll tear these off so you can see what it looks like. And I thought it was just a little bit too dark with just the one. Now, I like the quality of the light, and from back here it's okay, but once you get down in here, it just feels like it's a little bit too dark over here on this side. So I just ended up putting up the other lanterns just to add a little bit more light in here. And I don't think I'll put any on the sides, because I'm mostly going to use this as a place to store things. These are going to act like my shelves or my drawers. I've got another one over here where I can set up a big array if I need to. And of course, if I really need to, I can just dive deeper, because these things, they do register within a 12 block radius up and down. So this goes, I think 5. Yeah, 5 up and down. So it could do 7 more than that if I really wanted to just make this area really huge. But I always build big, huge storage areas like that, and I very rarely actually need them. Because I always play in modded packs where, you know, things like refined storage exists. And eventually I just start storing stuff entirely on drives. So that's just a better way to do it. Like this. This would be great for a drive. All this extra armor stuff that I found and am keeping for mysterious reasons. And as far as that, I think that's, other than this over here. So this is a volcanic accumulator. You put it on top of lava and it just passively generates mana over time. So I've got 4 mana jars set up. I mean, like, it's not super fast. It's really not. But it's an easy way for you to just be like, yeah, throw mana in this. So I've always got a couple of jars of stuff if I need it for putting together any of the recipes for Ars Nouveau. But yeah, I want to test that. I want to test sticking a whole bunch of X's on a wither. So we're going to do it if I have enough wither material already. 32, I think that's enough to do 3. Just barely. We'll put those back up, and then we'll pull out 4 more soul sand. Let's go back to that little cave that we were in. I think it'll work against the wither, because the wither only has the one, like, attack pattern. It mostly just stays in one place. Like, the only thing that it would be doing is maybe it would try to fly upwards. Oh. Ho ho ho. I don't remember where the tunnel is that we dug before. So we'll just come up in here. This is good enough. Just dig it out a little bit. And we'll get our Summon Vex spell set up. For self. And Vex. Create. They can go through walls and stuff even, so like it's totally chill. Like they can absolutely get away with this. There's my whole mana bar of Vexes. We'll just hide. I got several Wither Roses too because it killed a lot of the Vexes. And anytime it kills an entity, it gives you the a Wither Rose. So I got 8 of those, another Nether Star. That was quick too. That took no time for them to all kill that Wither. Of course, how many of them do I have? I mean, not many left. I spent my whole mana bar summoning them. I do not have a lot of them left that survived. Of course, I also should have waited until the Wither exploded to summon them, because several of them went right up into its face immediately before it even did its little charge-up explosion deal. So that might have, you know, hindered their progress a little bit. But also, they still won, so I mean, like, how concerned should I really be? This is my favorite spell that we added today. But okay, so now we're going to move forward with the the other plans. We're gonna do some more Britannia stuff here, because I want to get some enchanted gear set up. That's actually something I feel like I need to get on, because I need some actual good, proper enchanted stuff. And then we're also gonna see if we can make a new hood, because I at least need the tier 3 hood, because I don't think I have a netherite helmet. I don't. Yeah, I've got boots, I've got armor, and I've got pants. Which, I mean, honestly, since the armor itself has like an inherent reduction to the mana costs, I could just outfit myself entirely in the armor. And, you know, having extra netherite protection is nice, but, like, do I really need it? I'm not taking hardly any damage whatsoever already. Now, this does have protection 6 on it, so I'm sure that has something to do with it, but this too, actually, protection 6. But, I mean, like, we also have Apotheosis in the pack, so we can do crazy enchantments, too, even on, you know, basic gear. This just happened to be some stuff that I got off of killing one of those super powerful monsters that randomly spawns. So what does it take for the tier 3 armor? Ars Nouveau book. Also, we've got several options here. We've got an amulet of mana boost and regen, a belt of levitation, a belt of unstable gifts, dull items, magical armor. So that creates the basic mana fiber, and that's what you put in for the basic stuff, and then blaze fiber makes, or blaze powder added to it makes blaze fiber, which is what you use to make tier 2 stuff, and then popped chorus fruit is on top of blaze fiber, is what gets you the tier 3 stuff. And I think that's actually equivalent to diamond, isn't it? The chest has 8 and 2.5. Diamond 8 and 2. So it's actually just a smidge better, but it's not as strong as netherite and does not have the knockback resistance. And I mean, I'm sure that there is like some crazy armor. Masticated chestplate? Huh. There's probably some much crazier armor that you can get into, but I'm not worried about it because I'm already not taking hardly any damage at all. And unless you find a mod that adds something into it that, I mean, like, look at that. 12 and 4 with 10% knockback. Like, that's just obviously better. But I want to be able to cast a ton of spells. Like, ours is definitely very quickly risen up in my awesome mods list. So we're going to need to get some of that armor going. So let's get ourselves the mana generation started over here. Let me put some of this junk up that I've picked up. Gas tier. Oh, there's that. Or no, am I storing that in the nether specific area? Yeah, I guess I am. Vaguely makes sense. We'll put the nether star in there too. Soul stuff. Little gold block. Then over here we'll put the gunpowder, rotten flesh, not that. And you know what, this ominous banner too. Block's chest gets that. And then we'll put up the gold nuggets here. Put that up. Put that up. Put that up. And then we've just got this random extra strength rune, which we might need for stuff later, I guess. I'm at least going to open up this much area because I think this is how much I got done. I was planning the width of like the whole thing, which is why I have the sand here in the first place anyways, in case you were curious. And I needed a defined space for my mind to work in. I was struggling on that day for whatever reason. I was like, I cannot possibly think about how much stuff I need to commit to this. I just need to mark it out. And I'm not done. but I ran out of time when I was playing with it before, so it just took me a minute to get back to it. But yeah, I've only got a few more that I need to make. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 18, and then so like 32, right? Is that 18 plus 14? Yeah, 32 is how many I need left. So I've got 10 here, and I've got the supplies. I have patience. I ran out of patience. So let's go grab some coal blocks, charcoal, to throw in this. We'll actually need to make some more charcoal, I think. I think I've only got, yeah, 64 of this. And I don't want to use my actual coal. Charcoal works just as well. We've got a lot of pine. Quick mass! Got so much pine. Oh, right. It's not charcoal yet. Okay, so let's make a spell. We'll go to Flickambicus, and we will turn it to Smelt, and then add all the AoEs to it. I actually think... Is it 2 of them that does... I think this does a stack in 2 clicks. Oh, no. Not at all. Took me like 8 clicks. Is it 4 then? Nope. Is it all of them? So that did it in 3. We're getting there. Maybe I did all of them and that's what got it to me in 2. Yeah. But maybe that last one isn't needed either. Nope, last one's still needed. Okay. So yeah, if you have smelt and then all of these, you know, you can smelt a full stack in 2 clicks. Just, it eats up mana. I mean, like, it's a very expensive spell to cast. Honestly, this might need to be one of the ones... I just don't use it very often, but I could put this into a wand and then just have it all the time, forever. Name the wand something like the Cookerator 9000, or something along those lines. Because it'll smelt anything. I mean, like, I turned wood into charcoal, but you can do anything with it. Anything that you could normally smelt down, you can do with this. Block of charcoal. And let's go get this cracking on. Should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think I'll need most of this stack, but I don't want to do the actual math to figure that out, so I'm just going to spray casually in a big circle so that way they don't clump together. Okay, I could grab one up there. I'm impressed, actually. Alright, let's see. Most of the flowers are active. We got 2 more over here. It looks like a lot of them over here that are not active. A lot of them over here that are not active. Okay, I think that's all of them active. Oh, except, oh no, that one is also active. So right, I've currently got 44 of them. That's how much is left in the charcoal block not being active. Pull out the wand here so we can see where the mana's at. Yeah, definitely making progress on that. Okay. We might have enough even. I don't think the mana pylons are very expensive, and I just need 2 of them. We must construct additional pylons. Yeah. 2 mana steel, 2 gold, and a mana diamond. That's not very expensive. Two mana steel. It's so nice that we're now in a pack that's using the normal recipe. Does it have to be diamond or can it be pearl? Has to be diamond. Okay. Four of those, and then also a commensurate amount of gold. Let's see where they're at. Not bad. Not bad at all. This one's the one that powers that flower over there, so it's always going to have the least amount. So I'll have it do one of those. And then I'll do the 2 pearls off of that one and that one. Or diamonds, not pearls. This will give a big jump start to our enchanting. And then everything we do with Apotheosis past that is going to be just like gravy. So then we need to make an enchanting table. So I'll need 4 obsidian, book, and then I think diamond, right? Remember how I said that I don't just remember anything crafting recipe wise? Two diamonds. That's close, you know? So that gives us our enchanting table. Then if we pop this up, we should see that these have, yeah, 2 Eterna. Max is 15. I'm just going to set this out here for the moment. We're not going to leave it here. We're going to do permanent structures for this stuff. But I just need to see this have the Eterna. Let's get some lapis and something unenchanted. This diamond pickaxe isn't enchanted. Okay, yeah, we've got 15 of that, and we've got 10 Quanta for some reason. I wonder what nearby is giving us Quanta, because it's not these. These didn't say anything about giving Quanta. Or is that just the default, you know? It always gets 10% Quanta unless you try to do something about it. Yeah, Unbreaking 3, Silk Touch, Efficiency 1. That's the starting stuff that you can get. And this is a normal, this is basically like normal level enchanting. But of course, Apotheosis can go much, much higher than that. If you look at all the stuff here, these are other bookshelves that do stuff. These are the ones from Apotheosis. So you can see the max on their Eterna is 22.5. And then you can get, you know, better versions of that. That one goes up to 30. These also go up to 30. But that's also per shelf, if I understand it correctly. So, like, these going up to 50, these are obviously the best ones. Pearlescent shelves, Arcana. What is it? So, Eterna is the strength. That's how strong the enchantment can be. Quanta is the variance, like 10% up and down. And then Arcana just makes it where you get more rare enchantments. And it increases the number of them. So then that's something that I'm going to get into, because I'm going to have to this is kind of grindy. I don't want to sit here and do this on stream, like mess with all the enchants. But there is a couple of other items from Britannia that I wanted to get, and so we are going to grab those real quick. I want the horns. Horn of Covering. I don't even know what this one does. Horn of the Canopy and Horn of the Wild. This is the one that I definitely want. So I need a pasture seed, I need grass, and some mana. So let's pull out our shears and grab some of the grass over here. I'll just, a lot of it. Whatever. And suck it all in with the magnet charm we've got. And if I ever need more than that, we know how to get it. Am I right? Good, I'm glad you agree with me. Uh-oh. My printer has decided to clean. No, printer. Now is not the time. So never this one. Okay, one of these. And then we'll do that one. And then that one again, since it didn't make either of the diamonds before. And that gives us the 3 pasture seeds that I need, and I can make all 3 of the horns, and we can just figure out how they work. So it's living wood. Living wood is what we need, which also means that I just need more wood. Let's chop down that tree, huh? We literally have a tree out here that we set up to be chopped. So let's do that. Oh, so much wood. This is why I love giant spruce trees. 4 saplings turns into more than a stack of wood. I remember that I'm running low on living wood, which is why I'm doing this. Because I do already have some. I'll have to do what I did in the last pack. I'll just have to make, a drawer that's specifically for living wood and just shoot up 1,000 of it, have it sitting around for whenever we need to mess with it. Get some of our zucchini. I did finally get enough recipes together that I have the full 10 hearts, which I don't think Spice of Life will let you go above that, so I don't know how much more investigating I'll do on that, but if I get the opportunity to eat some more weird food, then I will. But right now, yeah, you can see I've got the full 10 extra hearts. Yes, come to me, living wood. And we'll just use the Ultimine to get all of that out of there. So then let's shoot into here. And I'm going to need... I know that I'm going to need a leaf block too. So actually, let me get one of these two. Pasture seeds. And there are 3 horns. That one is that, that is that, that is that. Okay, yeah. So 3 horns. Put it in there with the leaf, and that gets the canopy one, and then I'll need a snowball. Which I have some snow. Yeah, here we go. I knew that I had some around here.
Okay. So, a Horn of the Wild. What does it do? Well, it breaks grass. In an area around you, you just blow on the horn, it breaks all the grass. Nice. Very nice. I love it, in fact. This just makes... And you can just fly around and just do this. So if you don't want a bunch of the natural grass terrain around you, you can just kind of zip around. Make this happen. And then never worry about it ever again. Canopy does the same thing but for leaves. So you can just wander around, break all the leaves. This one's less important to me because we have the Mage Scythe, you know? The harvest spell that will also harvest leaves and give us saplings and stuff like that. But, you know, I was already here, so of course I was going to go ahead and make it. No reason for me not to, really. Love it. Got to be careful around your fruit trees, though, because you don't want to break those, because that's where the fruit grows. And then I'm assuming that the Horn of Covering does the same thing, but for snow. I've never actually played with the Horn of Covering before, so I know there's some snow around me some direction. Yeah, if we just head south, we can try it out. So let's head this way a little bit. We'll find some snow, and we'll try it out, and then we'll teleport back. Oh no. It is getting towards the night. I saw a zombie. Already out and about, ready to harm me. Why must you be so cruel, zombie? Plus, you get to look at this pretty terrain. Right, look at this. Glow Shroom Bayou. How am I generating new terrain? I've totally been this direction. There's like this weird little strip I just haven't got, I guess. I know everything around this. There's no reason for that strip to not be known. Yes, here we go. So we've got our snow-covered forest area. Yes, exactly as I thought. It basically just gets rid of the snow covering. Now, notably, it does not give you the snowballs. So if that's what you would be interested in, you would not want to do this. But if you just have a base that you don't want to be covered in snow, and you haven't got around to placing down string in your snow base yet, this would be a good way to clear it off. It looks so cool on the minimap. You can just tell where I've been. Nice. Alright, let's head back home. Actually, let's head to my Astral Starter area. And then quickly do the sleeping bag. What? It's not night? Is this a thunderstorm going on in other places? This is so very dark. But I did want to show you guys something interesting that happened. So I have noticed in this pack, it does have a slight more proclivity. I don't know if it's because terrain generation was updated, but also I didn't boot up this area until after the new terrain generation came in, right? Like, this was all new expansion that I moved into because I had to find one of these astral pyramids. But like, if we come over here, right, it's to the south of me. There, I've noticed in doing my exploration around that it is fairly often that you will come across a situation like this, where there is just an absolute chunk error that happens in the terrain generation. Look at this. Also, we have our friend, the orcas. Hello, friend orca. Yes. Yes, friend orca. Yeah, where this stuff is just like cut off. And I don't think it always happens, but it seems to have a higher chance to happen around the astral sorcery things. Like, look at this. It is just floating in midair like this. And cut off a huge area of terrain around it. I'm not saying that this caused it. I don't know that this caused it. But I have noticed in exploring around a bit that it does seem to happen this way. Not every time, but fairly often. Where it will just be like one of these in midair, and then all the terrain around it is like this. It's just flatly cut off. But also this over here is like one of the improved mine shafts. So I don't know if that had something to do with it happening here. Because I know that the mine shaft generation has changed in this pack too. And that's what this is one of the improved mine shafts. What's my... Oh yeah, I set it up like all the way. Maybe with my newfound abilities I can sustain this. Haha, you tried to poison me, but I am immune to poison. Baby. Still can't do too many of those. Actually using this to attack with is not super good. I mean, like, you can get some good values because the enchantments are crazy, but I mean, like, you just have to attack more often. Like, I can't have a spell that just kills people without using one of the unconventional ones. Like, harm sucks, I guess is what I'm really saying. Which, I mean, it's a tier 1 rune, so I guess, yeah, it should suck. But, like, actually killing stuff with harm and having to put fortune and stuff on it just drains up too much mana to make it viable, in my opinion. But yeah, the terrain generation looks really weird, right? Just absolutely flatly cut off. And then if we follow the map line, it did it in this formation, and this seems to be the way that it does it. So, like, there's definitely, like, a point where it reaches whatever width, and then it starts generating normally. And some of the trees generated inside of the chunk error. As did these little islands. I mean, the entire ocean also. So it's like some terrain generation met and then went, yeah, I'm supposed to be here. And then it went, well, I'm supposed to be here too. And so it just got flatly cut off like that. Because also, like, down here, the water is not leaking in. Like, I don't know if you noticed that before when I was inside the mine shaft here. Like, if we go back inside of it, there's water, like, way down there. But, you know, this is sea level. So, I mean, yeah, the shaft just interrupted the generation and then the water doesn't leak in because, you know, Minecraft water physics are Minecraft water physics. Yeah, let's head back home. And then I need to make a grindstone. That. And then what's that? Planks. I'm gonna put this out here on the enchanting stuff so I have it available. Pole, foe, and shelf, so that way I can keep track of what they require. But yeah, basically I'm gonna have to go through here, make a whole bunch of bookshelves, and then upgrade them into these higher tier bookshelves, and then just go nuts with the enchanting. Oh, phantoms! No! Ah, they can cross the stones! No! Oh, and it locked up. No. No. Get out of my house. Bad Phantom. Hey, we did get 2 membrane off that one, though. That's nice. We'll sleep. This is why you have to sleep. Haha! Now you're all burning up in the sun. And you deserve it. But yeah, I think that's where we'll end for tonight, guys. Ooh, I also grabbed this lava lily somehow. Just gonna toss that in there. Also this one somehow. But yeah, guys, thank you for playing along with me. I hope you enjoyed this kind of showcase of new spell effects. I do want to break into some of the other stuff. Just enchantments is something that I have to focus on right now because I want to get my gear like really well done. In between streams, I'm probably going to go grab some popped chorus fruit because we've already explored the end a little bit. We already know what's out there. I don't need to show you me harvesting a whole bunch of popped chorus fruit. But yes, thank you for playing along. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we will see you